When you say Edith, it's him and Edward.
I was going to say, yeah, him and Edward. I still think, you know, with this lineup for TNC, I like the concept of it. I like what they are bringing to it, but maybe the Aurora is part of the answer, too, to kind of go ahead and work on catching Kelra, because I feel like that was, you know, some of the difficulty they had. Or maybe it's also just a good answer just in case they get caught by a claws, for example, or they get kicked. They can force that fight by just locking them down with the Aurora kit.
Yeah, no, I totally see that happening, and I agree. I think that's what they were looking for when they picked up the Aurora. The Varus, I think, is going to be the biggest question here because this is very timing-based. This lineup puts a lot of pressure on the three players all together, the Matilda, the Alpha, and the Varus together. They need to weave in and out of the well.
See if they can weave it, make it work, take it to a game 3. That'd be something that a lot of people might not expect from TNC. Can they make it happen here in game number 2 against Onic Philippines? And again, even with the setup, you know, it's funny how we were just talking about the Alpha, and now he comes through for Zyda here. This matchup too, the Alpha versus the Suyo, he's gonna have to make it work, but at least in this way, they have a ton of utility this time for TNC to go ahead and play around with, other than just the diversion.
Which I think is something we've failed to mention. The damage profile on TNC is so odd. If Kozen's not ready,
yeah,
who's dealing the damage?
Yeah, Yaoi on the Matilda maybe, and you know, like at that point, that's a good question to ask here on how they approach the game, especially in the early game. Because of the fact too, if Kozen ends up getting behind against this matchup, the Granger versus the Harith, he's going to have some trouble, and he's really going to have to rely on Yaoi to help him out, probably.
Yeah, again, a lot of pressure on the ones that we mentioned. Lansing really needs to be hitting those glaciers. And most importantly, the closest thing they have to the potential where's the damage coming from, the answer to it is it's Zyda. It has to be that Alpha. But then the Alpha will have to put himself in such dangerous situations with a Sicilian that you won't be able to reach, a Granger you can't reach. Okay, let's take out the gold laner first. But just up against the other 4 heroes on the side of Onic, that's a tough dance to dance for an Alpha.
Even against Kirk, who has like 1 or 2 items, and once he presses the Primal Wrath, Alpha might even have to say, guiding winds, guiding winds!
Yeah, it's like, Zyda might actually have to hold on to his Spear of Alpha, so he just has an option to out if in case he needs it.
Oh, look how fast his turtle's going here.
Ooh.
They actually contest.
TNC taking it clean. Zyda scores, looking to punish one. Super Prince bites it.
Good play. They get a turtle. They get a kill to go ahead and work around.
Oh.
King Kong just finding else on the map.
Yeah, he stole the orange buff, so that's a trade they decided to go for. They know that they lose against the level 4 of the Barretts in the first objective, so they decided, you know what, let's just get vision here. They were able to spot out Super Friends, took him down, but they lost their orange buff, and that's where the deficit gets balanced out.
That is advanced thinking by the beast, the Sigma King. He's done this like what?
Yeah.
Dozens of times, hundreds of times. Like this is the signature response for Onic when they don't have an initiative.
And this is what I was saying in the previous game. You know, every time they seems like they're going to lose, mostly an objective, they're finding something elsewhere across the map, and that's why that macro play style from Onic Philippines has been so prevalent for a lot of the competitions they've been in, a lot of teams that have been studying them, is, you know, replicating that movement from them. So it does look like they are the ones going with the troubleshooting here. So a couple minutes hopefully and we're back into the game. But I would say, you know, even for TNC, at least this way, with this kind of lineup, you can actually play pretty well with the fact that you have a Matilda, right? But I'm wondering, because when was the last time maybe we saw Yaoi play a Matilda? I know at least, is this one of his picks that he can actually have that playstyle with? Or is it more just, I'm going to be that utility guy, I'm going to get my people out of the sticky situations and work from there?
Forever. It's been about forever since we saw Yaoi on Matilda.
A few games here and there in Indonesia from time to time. Back when he was, I think his name was, at that time, King Gugun. I remember I liked their combo when it was a Matilda Barretts that they pulled off. There would be times also when Iran would be playing the Barretts and the EXP. Actually, no, wait. Is Yaoi just playing some of Aura and Liquid's greatest hits? That's just a thought that struck me right now. It's like, because we were thinking like, oh, it's very Onic-coded, right? Sort of like TLID Arki Hoshi.
This ain't working. Let's run it back.
Yeah, now I'm just feeling like, is this kill ID in the Philippines? What's going on?
But again, you're taking something that worked prior and then running it back. There's a reason why things are great in their context.
Yes.
I don't think it's a good idea. Well, so far it is, right? So far, they scored a turtle, they drew first blood.
Yeah.
Who am I to say it's a bad idea?
The only thing that is a bad idea for TNC in this one, I feel like, or one of the big bad ideas, is letting the game get too long. Because you got a Sicilian, man. Like, you got that. But also, if Kelra just does what he did last time.
You got double stacking heroes
Yes.
as cores. Punish them.
Yeah.
That's one way to win, yes.
Hopefully, they're able to go ahead and execute that. We'll see. It looks like they're ready, nearly ready to jump back. There it is. There's the signal.
Sant, do it, Sant!
There it is. Man, his form has really been refined since last season.
Bit of hesitation there at the beginning, though. He was second-guessing himself if it was time to go, but I'm glad he still got it down.
Okay, jumping back into the game again. If you're just joining us, that first turtle and first blood secured and taken by TNC. And, you know, not only do the fact that they have this tons of utility with the Matilda pick, but they also are still able to go ahead and run with the 2 Purifies to help them with, you know, some of the CC that's going to be thrown at them with Onic Philippines' lineup. They're rotating around.
All right, that's a little underscore.
oh.
Gorjea misses.
Oh.
The Dennis Welcome finds a missile expert, though. King Kong is going to go down. Zyda gets the kill. And there's nothing on the board for Onic just yet.
Ooh.
I was going to say, isn't it ridiculous that the team who is facing against the CC of TNC or this lineup doesn't have Purify? Look at Onic. No respect to the CC.
This is what I call athleticism, man. Like, athletic flickers.
Yeah.
Nah, I'd win.
Yeah, that's like pure reaction. I think there's a window of time where you can react to flickering away from the ultimate of the Aurora, similarly to the Barretts, although I think the Barretts would be a little bit harder to pull off.
Spear of Alpha.
Yeah, Spear of Alpha is their biggest problem, though. That's the one, like, if you're stuck in there, you're stuck. You cannot get out of it.
There's a lot of CC that I'm just thinking maybe Onic could have respected a little more. But who am I to say? These are world champions, right? I'm just a dude staring at a screen screaming.
You're just a guy. At this point, though, too. Already early poke. This is what we expect, though, especially with the Sicilian. It's only going to get worse as the game goes on. But TNC is in a position to go ahead and try to just secure this second turtle. They might be able to just go ahead and grab it by zoning off Onic, and it looks like that's going to happen. But look at this, too. As Zyda secures that, there's a wave cut up top. Kirk might have to get back. There's going to be a quick response.
First time it happened,
TNC.
King Kong stole an orange. Now he was forced to stay on his side of the map. So, yeah, deep cut by Kirk, but TNC can respond to it just as quickly. What's crazy is what gasps me, all right, is the fact that the gold lead ain't that big. How is how is Onic keeping it tight like this?
How many times have we asked this question about Onic? Again, they just get resources somehow from minion waves, those little compounding steals of the jungle creeps, whether it's the lizards or the golems. That's just it.
And they're taking the first turn of the game.
They get that turret just like that, too.
What?
Again, it was all a timing thing there. You know, Kozin does get a Starlium Scythe here. They want to go ahead and trade. They're going to take this tier 1 on the bottom side. But that's the thing. It is a good thing to kind of keep attention to for Onic Philippines, even though it might look like, yeah, objectively they're losing this or they're losing that turtle, but they're still able to keep things even in terms of economy. And all the while, like we said, Super France is just going to be stacking up, doing his thing on the Sicilian.
Despite the Barretts also showing how much damage it would take, good emblem adjustments by Onic Philippines. They actually are packing Ruptures on Super Prince and Kelra, so that's mainly really just to answer the Barretts. Other than that, TNC, at some point they're going to have to translate them winning objectives into more objectives. Get turrets down. Right now, the minion waves are, strangely enough, getting manipulated by Onic PH. TNC have only traded the sides, but you'd think at some point they'd be able to get the mid lane if they play their cards right in this third turtle or on the first lord.
Kirk spotted by 2. Zaman Force committed here by Kozin. Primal Wrath by Kurt. Blasting away. In comes Super Prince. Pops the ult as well. No one hit by the Frigid Glacier. Brusco backs off. The respect to the firepower of Onic PH. Still, TNC happy with their kill.
Happy with their kill, but they might look for more Brusco. Oh, not going to land the kick he was looking for in that angle. So that's 3 for 3 for Turtles for TNC here.
Wow, a great play right now by TNC. See, okay, one of the questions answered as to why Onic have minimized the gap in the gold is that every time a sequence is about to happen around an objective, King Kong is somewhere else and he's farming, either clearing minion waves or stealing the jungles as we mentioned. Now TNC, we got what we asked for earlier, convert a turtle, a win, a fight into an objective. They got the turret down, the second one in the bottom lane. So now TNC can be poised to, in this next Lord, I want to see them commit a 4-1 split, typically to how Onic do it. Try to get that mid lane tower down, threaten the lower portion of the map, while you just play around the objective, try to bait out abilities, and then that's when Lord JM goes with the late usage of the Death on his Welcome.
This is very Filipino. Approaching the 8-minute mark and there's only 3 kills.
Yep.
It's very Filipino.
Bro, we are so back.
We're so back. You know what? But the thing that stands out here, too, is 2 big items being picked up for Onic Philippines. That was the Sky Piercer last picked up for Kelra, and then the glowing one now for Super Prince. And that's going to help with some of that sustainability because, as I say it, there's the total healing done right now from the lineup for TNC. So, you know, if they take a couple shots from Super Prince, that's going to help, you know, bring that down a little bit. And that's why I'm saying TNC, it's great they have this control in this portion of the game, but hopefully they can continue on, get this Lord, and then transition to actually marching towards Onic Philippines' base.
Look at King Kong escorting a chubby wave up top. I mean, if they knew exactly where Zyda was, maybe he would have committed, but they're taking it slow. They're working on the safe lane here that's closer to the Lord. So Onic might be thinking to contest.
With how TNC right now are formed up in the map. Okay, so they are doing what we said that they should, but what they gave up was actually control around the objective. Now Onic are holding the priority shrubs for this Lord. You're forcing counter to react bottom. Oh! They caught Prince!
Oh, the jump in by TNC, and they're looking to find a vengeance kill onto Lord JM. Not going to happen as TNC collapse onto this Lord at half health now. Yaoi pushing back the rest of Onic Philippines, and that's the Phoenix Army scoring a major objective.
There you go, TNC. Lord JM's been on point. I mean, utilizing the flicker with the Daytona's Welcome to find those key pickoffs.
Feed him more.
Wow, I'm so glad that actually Lord JM got that because that's the opener they needed. Again, Onic PH had the positional advantage. But whether it was Lord JM's call or TNC's call, let's just say it's a TNC call, to commit the flicker Death on his Welcome to cast Super Prince, it showed. Onic PH were so hesitant to even show themselves because even though the Death on his Welcome was gone, one of their biggest deterrents, their biggest tools in the team fight, the Sicilian was taken out.
Was taken out, and you know, at this point they'll go ahead and just try to clear things up, hold things together the best they can, just try to secure these buffs as well, but they're gonna have to deal with the Lord eventually. And so right now TNC playing in their favor, playing in the momentum. They want to go ahead and march down at least the mid lane, get some of these shields popped if they can. Mid lane, adding wind, Circling Eagle used, but they get that turret down, still trying to march in with this Lord. The goal is right now just those shields, honestly, for TNC at this point.
Holy Shields, I'd say, are minor objectives. Again, a confirmed wave clear. And talking about wave clear, look how Kurt just commits the Primal Wrath. We need to get rid of this Lord ASAP.
Saw there by Onic PH. This will help them out in the defense. Poke damage not quite there just yet for Onic Philippines.
Holy Shields up top!
So TNC Pro Team will be controlling
They got one.
the tempo. Yeah, that's one.
There's
They got,
about a minute and a half that they could use it.
they got
So,
two.
Oh yeah, they
Just
did-
one.
They got the bottom one, right?
Bottom one.
Bottom pop.
Yeah, bottom pop.
Okay. Well, TNC, this is great for them still because they're continuing to build up on the lead that they have. But I'm just wondering, right, at some point, will this turn in favor of Onic Philippines because if they just buy themselves, what, some time even into the next Lord or past that, we always know whenever a Sicilian is on a team, I mean, we saw this even back in M6, man, the amount of defenses based around this hero alone, the Sicilian, can win games.
They're taking time bomb.
There's the stacks right there.
So it's at 169, 170 something now.
Yeah.
Again, the double stack hero is currently, biting Onic in the behind.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. Usually the main goal for Sicilians is to reach 210 or 211.
Yeah.
He'll be able to get there maybe at around 13 minutes. It won't take that long. But one of the main conditions also is that Super Friends needs to be on his third item. Once he's locked his third major item in, that's when TNC is going to start feeling, okay, this Sicilian is a problem. But up until that point, TNC will be in control comfortably as long as they don't mess something up.
And this is why still the amount of utility that TNC's lineup gives them is such an advantage. And it's funny because I was thinking when the game started, for Lord JM that he would rely heavily on Guiding Wind to set things up, but he hasn't really needed it. He's just flickered a lot of them. So the fight for this Lord is going to break out. I'm wondering, will Onic Philippines be able to contest this?
Ain't no dance here as TNC fully commit.
Oh!
In comes another Dennis Welcome with a flicker. Cancelled though, Lord JM still standing, but just barely. Zaman Force sent in by Kozen. Lancey very low. Kirk taken down by Zaida in the back line. And this does delay the Lord take, but they do bite one. Away the dragon by Brusco. Kick in, Lord JM in, but not going to end the job. Zaida survives. No one taken by Onic. Clean for TNC.
We talked about pressure onto Lord JM, Yawi, and Zaida to make the core of this lineup work. Screw pressure. They are making this work. Lord JM's decision-making to enter. Yawi being able to time the Guiding Winds to supplement the shields. He saved Zaida in that scenario, and Zaida is still deathless at 3-0-1.
I can't believe, even with a Sea Halberd, a glowing wand over here from Onic Philippines, the sustainability, the healing was just too much for TNC to go ahead and just win those fights. We're going to take a look at the replay here in just a second as they get ready to march in. And this fight was great. Even that Zaman Force enough to help zone out a little bit. There's the kick from Brusco. And then a look at that. Again, utilizing the utility and heals that TNC has with this lineup.
Yeah, the raw sustain right now of the Barretts and Matilda together are holding down the front line of TNC Pro Team. And at the same time, Lancey has been on point with his follow-ups, dishing the crowd control that he needs to dish. What we talked about earlier in terms of Brusco's entries getting just checked by the Aurora, that's been happening. And it's not just actually Brusco's entries, it's Onic, it's their entire entry that's getting dealt with.
It's not giving, is what the kids would say.
Yeah, it's not giving.
Feigned circling eagle there by Yawi, forcing response from Onic. Tier 3 taken down in mid. King Kong and the rest of Onic just scrambling to protect what's left of their base. The Lord left standing. The rest of the waves, though, taken care of. Onic lives another day.
Another update for Prince Watch. He just built up the Magic Lantern. Still going to be lacking in the damage department. They really need him on that third core item, and then that's when TNC is going to start feeling the pain. But will we even get there is the main question right now. Super Prince does have the most damage dealt, but once that number reaches like around 40K, that's when things have gone wrong for TNC.
Yeah. Oh, Lancey.
Oh, what?
Oh, drops in a Frigid Glacier. Kozen also commits his ult. Zaman Force underneath the tier 3, but Onic ain't having any of it. Concealed play coming in, Brusco and Kirk. Frontliners for Onic looking for some prey. Lets them go. TNC plays a conservative game, pressuring Onic elsewhere.
That was really spicy, man. From Lancey to go ahead and flicker forward for that. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to catch anyone from Onic Philippines the way that he wanted to. But that is showcasing how confident TNC is feeling right now. 6,000 gold ahead at this point. Mind you, when was the last time we saw Onic Philippines without any kills up to this point in their previous winning games or even matches in general?
I can't remember. Yeah. Even if this is a very Filipino game, I can't remember the last time Onic was up against the ropes like this.
If they egg Onic, that's a statement. We said TNC winning a game is already going to be a statement. Yeah. If they take a game from Onic, wherein Onic got no kills at all, no major objectives, no Lord, no Turtles, that's more than a statement. That's proof that you're ready for this season.
I would say they have finally served a dish. They've been cooking for a while, right?
Yeah.
If that happens here, again, it's not a series over just yet, but it would be great to get to a game number 3 in that sense for TNC.
If they end Onic here after this Lord, it would be a spicy meatball. Lord down to 3/5 of its health. Brusco playing with range. King Kong and Kirk in the wings. with Super Prince trying to get some stacks. Amazing wave management by TNC. They're denying these stacks from Super Prince, which makes this dance all the more interesting. Wait, Brusco finds one, kicks Lord JM. They're gonna blast the dinosaur. He adds to the Prince's place here. The Spear of Alpha taking down Brusco. He goes one man down from Onic. TNC happy with that skirmish. They do send Lord JM back home.
Great Glacier there. Setting up, and again, it's been Brusco, and he's feeling that struggle on the toe now against this kind of lineup. That was a Divine Glaive also picked up now for Super Prince.
Third item.
It.
They gotta wait for this though still, but this should be a Lord for TNC.
Yeah, with Roamer gone, it's going to be tough for them to contest, but the defense right now actually should be great for Onic Philippines. TNC will get this without a problem. Divine Glaive on Prince. Kelra is fully built as this Granger. If TNC can pull off this siege at that moment, that's it. If Onic defends, that's going to be a shaky time for the Phoenix Army.
All right, it's one thing to counter blessings, but do note this is an enhanced Lord that will be crashing through mid. TNC, I think the play that's coming up next would be a surgical push through each inhibitor left, and then they might go for another. But yeah, the clock is ticking.
Yeah, it definitely is, because right now, you can see Onic Philippines trying to scramble a little bit, you know, trying to cut some of the waves if they can, try to stall them out, but look at this heal, man, from Yawi with the Matilda, and this is why you guys mentioned in the draft, you're surprised Matilda was slept on for a little bit. Yawi, once again, leading the charge as this Lord comes into the mid lane.
Look at the damage on the Super Prince. That was just but a synchro vision from Kozin. Lord JM does not have a flicker, so Onic will take care of that Lord, and the rest of the waves crashing through top and bottom.
They're going to lose their bottom tower, but they defended this as well as they could. They were able to push back TNC at a crucial moment, and they keep one inhibitor turret standing.
Can I keep it actually here still? It looks like they are. They're doing their own charge up, you know, for Onic Philippines. They know that time is technically still on their side the further they can bring this game, but right now they really haven't had an answer to TNC. Yeah. And even with that, you know, obviously it does get a little bit harder to get these stacks. He's at 290 now, working on that last item.
Yeah, that's good. One of the problems is Kozin's item build is fantastic. He went Bloodwing second to the last item, then Oracle as his final item, selling the boots. It's a barefoot Harith, but this will be a Harith that will just be packing shields non-stop paired up with a Matilda.
He chonky. Well, there is a Sea Halberd on Kelra, and there is the glowing wand on Cecilion, on Super Prince. But yeah, no, I think Prince needs his Holy Crystal first, and then we can start talking.
Once he gets there, that's 100%. Yeah, TNC has to be so careful here. If this goes the classic TNC fashion of them in control of a game, then they slip right there at the end. That's just heartbreaking, man.
Big sads.
Big sads, yeah.
It will be, but it's almost, if it happens where Onic Philippines is somehow able to turn this game around too, that's actually going to be quite the miracle with how far behind they've been.
Rogue wave in mid, what?
Rogue wave. It's pushing. Nah, it's going to be cleared.
Yeah, it's like one tiny minion.
It took down mid tier 1, so in case Onic somehow, I mean, they've done this before, finds an end angle from mid, that's less of a deterrent.
Minion waves right now being overwhelming for Onic. They have really good wave clear. They have good base defense in terms of damage.
Oh, Prince picks up a Bloodwings. Insurance.
Yeah.
So he got blood. He still has a spot for one last item, I think, because he only had the
Elegant Gem.
The Elegant Gem,
Sell it,
He'll
pick
sell
up a
it.
crystal,
Yeah.
and then Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, he's not going to full build that into COD at this point.
Yeah.
That's going to be a loss.
Yep.
He's going to be fine.
The damage profile on TNC, again, they've gone through that hurdle.
Yeah.
Oh, Yawi picking up the Holy Crystal here, so.
Oh, God.
All right.
Okay.
That's Yawi style right there, man.
Damage
Matilda.
Yeah, damage Matilda, but also gets to dish out more shielding as well. Good itemization across the board, actually, for TNC, but this Lord, whoever gets this might actually win the game.
That's right. Lord now, reset here softly, fully now, down to, what, a fifth of its, 4/5 of its health. And King Kong and Kirk are blasting it.
Oh, they're going to
Primal
blast
Rat.
it.
Look at Lord JM, trying to go for Prince and
They're just
Kelra.
going.
The kick by Brusco, they're distracting him. King Kong from underneath, TNC scores 1. Kirk flickers back. Circling Eagle lands, gets popped by Super Prince. They trade 1 for 1.
Oh, from the back.
For mid.
It's a sandwich.
The back line. The spin. The
Oh!
split. Oh, no! 3 for 1! Lord James gonna bite it too.
What?
And it's a wipeout. Zaida standing, but just barely. Ladies and gentlemen, Onic have done it again.
How did they do it? How, Renmar?
And it's a maniac for King Kong!
And the Lord too!
They were split up. They committed in helping Lord JM.
Look at the camera. They can't believe they did it.
They can't believe it themselves. Oh, man.
Classic TNC fashion. They had the game, they had the win, and it slipped from their hands, while Onic has pulled magic out of their own hands as well.
Oh, my goodness. It was so
sweep.
close.
The sweep. We could have sworn.